Dre Dog, welcome to the program, brother.
Hey, Bobby, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me speed blitz this for you, right? Because you keep asking people why do we think EDC is not top five or why EDC is not mid. Okay, I'm a just speed blitz these names. Okay, just make a mental note of the names. All of these names that I'm about to list are fifth round picks because we got a ton of fifth round picks coming up. Jordan Lastly, Dalen Mack, Broderick Washington, Sean Wade, Dalen Hayes, Ben Mason, Caillou Blue Kelly, Rasheen Ali, Carson Vincent. That's since 2018. Okay, remember those names. Second round picks. No second round pick in 2018. None in 2019. 2020 we get J.K. Dobbins and ruin his career. 2021 we don't have a pick. 2022 we get fucking David Ajabo. 2023 we don't have a pick. 2024 we get Roger Rosengarten who is regressing. We get Mike Green in 2025. Okay, let me give you real quick. You know I'm an accountant, so let me give you the numbers. So out of all of those players I just listed, there are a possible 4 starters out of all of those players. That is a 31% success rate. That is fucking insane. We're talking about almost a decade worth of drafting, and we got 4 players out of the 5th round and your 2nd round that are possible starters. So the other day when I made the comment, and Sarah said she didn't really believe the narrative of, oh yeah, the Ravens draft so well, and these players go to other teams, and the players that we draft go to other teams. Fuck all that. What are we doing on our team to make this team a Super Bowl winning team? We look to the Eagles. We look to Kansas City. These are perennial Super Bowl teams, bro. Like at some point, like even and it blows my mind because Bashotti came out and said he don't care about the future. He doesn't care. He wants to win now. EDC cares about what are we going to do? Oh, we don't want to fuck up our comp pick formula. We got to get these fucking comp picks. They're so fucking important. Come on, bro. Enough is enough with the shenanigans. Like, you know, I don't even get down like this. I don't even really talk like this for real. But, yo, this is a travesty. Like, and it's so sad at the end of the day, we are watching a generational quarterback struggle and fight and run and still get disrespected in the media by racists, by people just don't like him. We are watching a generational talent be completely wasted with foolishness, what EDC is doing, foolishness, what coaching is doing. Like, I'm at the point where I'm at the point where, yo, I got so much love for Lamar. If he came to the table next year and said to EDC, I'm not renegotiating shit. Pay me the $74 million for the next 2 years. I don't give a fuck how the team turn out. And then let me go about my way because y'all wasted it. Y'all completely wasted my rookie contract. And then everybody say, well, he's getting paid too much now. You can't bring in a true XY receiver. You can't bring in a true pass rusher. You got to get it through the draft because you can't afford it. When we drafted motherfuckers like David Ajabo in the 2nd round hurt, when we drafted motherfuckers like David Ajabo in the 2nd round hurt, come on, bro, he's not top 5. Go through those names. And that's just the 2nd and 3rd. And this is the killer, Bobby. If you look at some of the players that went after some of the guys we missed, go just look at who went after fucking David Ajabo. I love you, Bobby.
Appreciate you, Dre. Man, yeah, he wasn't kidding, man. He was letting it rip today. Dre Dog, speaking to you out there. Edwin, welcome to the program.
Yo, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I had so much to say, and it seems like a lot of people are covering the things I said. My boy that just went before me, he pretty much laid it down what I was going to say about, which I look at as more scouting, more so than like decision making. But Eric seems that we got to remember that Eric comes from Ozzy, and Ozzy has the same kind of formulaic mindset of like keeping your draft picks and keeping those golden, but he has a different approach in how he does things, and he's hit and he's missed. But if we look at it, if we just look at it just one single thing, then you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, he's been bad, he's been bad." But we always got to remember, draft picks, no matter what round you pick a player, what round you sign a player, they're all rolling the dice. We don't know whether their college careers will translate to the NFL and vice versa. You're not really sure, because some players that are prospects are high, they completely fail, and some people prospects that are low completely become great players. So it could be any one of those things. But I mean, as far as the offensive line, who we gonna grab? It's like people thinking that he's gonna go out there and like, oh, let me just spend these draft picks to grab an offensive guard, when you're really gonna just be getting second string, third string guards, because what's to say somebody's not willing to give up their starting guard, and they're going to be wanting to give want first rounders, when we always know that that EDC, Ozzy, that building always like covets their draft picks. So we can't, as fans, just expect them to automatically be like Cowboys and the Colts and give up multiple firsts and seconds for one single player. And we only got rid of one roster spot. But let's look at it from a standpoint. Draymond Jones we acquired, and we also acquired Alohi Gilman. We lost Jair Alexander, and we lost Adafi Owe. Are these two players better than those two? So far, Alohi Gilman has proven that he's better on this team than Jair was, because Jair couldn't stay on the field. And also when he wasn't healthy enough to be a factor, because obviously his knee wasn't as good as we thought it was. And then if we look at Dafi Owe, yeah, he's doing a little bit better, because the Chargers run a simplified version of the Ravens defense. Everybody knows that. Jim Harbaugh said it before the season started, that he's running the Ravens defense, but it's a simplified version. So of course Adafi is going to take better to that, because he's taking a simplified version. The Ravens defense is a hybrid defense, 3-4-4-3. So it's a lot more complex than most defenses out there. So we got to get the right players. And I think the scouting is where the problem is. It's not DeCosta's moves and his mindset. Is more so of, we really got to get our scout team to be better. And also DeCosta has to know when to get rid of players. I think Mark Andrews should have been traded in the offseason for multiple seconds or thirds. We could have got maybe 1 or 2 picks for him. You know what I mean? And that's what the Eagles GM is doing. He's getting rid of players in the right time, pulling a lots of picks, and then now he could trade multiple picks for other players, because he's already he's basically farming picks to make moves. And I think DeCosta can learn from that. But I don't think that DeCosta is terrible. It's just he's got an old mindset, and he's got to start to shift it into the new mindset, because the old ways don't really necessarily work as they are now. And what's working is not what he's doing is not working. So we just got to see a shift in that. You know, I have optimism that regardless of the team that we got there, the defense has been a problem. They've shown that they've gotten better. Our offense never really was a huge problem. Yes, our guards are a problem, but you can't just fix that because you won it. You can't just say, oh, we're going to grab this guy. Offensive line has time to gel. So I think we're kind of made our bed with the offensive line. We just got to deal with what we got. And I think that it's going to prove at least enough for us to be able to score 30-plus points a game. We just need our defense to make more stops. And they've been doing it so far. Let's see if that keeps going. We have an opportunity there, but we have zero margin of error now. We got a win right now. Losses right now could really set us back right now. So I think that's where it's at. I'm super optimistic as long as Lamar is healthy and what we got. And I think EDC just got to start shifting and pivoting, maybe taking a look at what the Eagles GM is doing and understanding we got to start getting rid of players at the right time and farm some picks, and maybe we can make better moves. But right now we only had what we had. We got rid of a roster spot with Jair, and we got Draymond Jones. We lost 2 players and got 2 replacement players, and they're better than what they were. So at least we've improved, just not as good as what the fans see, because they see all of these glorified picks, like everybody throwing first rounders, you know, to get Sauce Gardner and to get Quentin Williams. But we're not giving up 2 first rounders. The Ravens never did that. They're never going to do that. So get that out your head, fans. Get that out. That's not happening.
Thanks, Edwin. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the call. David, not your daddy, joins us.
So, Bob, I'm going to keep it real. A little bit of optimism, like the last guy, Edwin said. As long as we have Lamar Jackson, we have an opportunity. However, I'm going to remind you that months ago, last year, I've been telling you and Sarah, because, you know, the other channel, that EDC and Hallbar are filthy motherfuckers. They don't learn from other teams. They're just doing what they think is right. And you can laugh about it. You guys laughed at me back then. But watching what's happening in this draft and what we've done not to clean up this team is proof enough. And here's some more optimism. We have a really smart fan base. Some of these guys calling into your show, like the guy just before Edwin here, he was spot on. When he was calling through the second round picks and all the travesty that's happened in the draft, he was spot on. I mean, a lot of that was totally spot on. We have missed. We have swung and missed. And there was another guy who paid a comment, one of their super chats. We have 11 picks. What do we do 11 fucking picks? There's a bunch of people in the 6th, 7th round. I mean, yeah, maybe if we get lucky, one of them is right. It's garbage. You have the best player in the NFL, and we're not doing the right, doing the right stuff to put the men around him that he needs. If we have to watch Falalele fall on his ass one more time, we're liable to have some fucking people in therapy. There are people going to kill themselves. I mean, Falalele is just that guy is garbage. I mean, like the fan base have eyeballs. There's a bunch of guys, you go to YouTube, there's a bunch of Ravens fans who are really smart. One of them called Coach. There's a bunch of guys who do some post-game films. It is amazing the shit that we are seeing on film. How are they not seeing this? How are they not seeing that this is such a liability? So we all talk about, a bunch of these fellows have talked about if Lamar stays healthy. The only way Lamar stays healthy, if the damn offensive line blocks for him, and they are a liability. So just what else? Oh, by the way, another thing I want to say, I don't know what everyone else is seeing, but Gilman is anyone seeing that this guy is missing on tackles? Maybe he has freed up a spot so that Hamilton can go, play lineman, and play linebacker. But I watched Gilman miss a lot of damn tackles. Is no one else seeing what I'm seeing with Gilman?
He wasn't the only one missing Devon Achane. He was not the only one on that defense missing Devon Achane. He ran all over him.
2 games in a row, I watched him miss a lot of fucking tackles. So maybe he's doing something in coverage that no one has covered that I haven't seen. I've run back on tape. But, man, what a shitty-ass tackler. This guy, arm tackling, missing a lot.
He's got to clean that shit up. But he has patrolled the back end. There have not been any communication woes, at least not that have been glaring. And this has allowed Kyle to be Kyle. And you got to acknowledge that as well. You're also onto something. That's got to get cleaned up for sure. But he's also brought in a savvy level of experience, a patrol type of presence on the back end, right? He's already been involved in turnovers.
I saw him knock that football out. But I see him take bad angles and miss tackles, which, if he was Kyle Hamilton, he'd have made all those. But anyway, so thanks for letting me have that discussion, Bobby, and I appreciate all the airtime you give me. EDC, what a fucking garbage bag that motherfucker is. He rode it on coattails to get in there. He is totally over his fucking head in his position, and it's really sad. And by the way, people are talking about all the draft, all the trades that happened. What about the trades that didn't happen? There are a bunch of guys on other teams that didn't come out and get traded because EDC didn't make a fucking move for them, because he didn't make the right deal. So although we saw Sauce Gardner and a bunch of these other guys go, there are players that didn't move that are opportunities lost.
Okay, one counter to that, though. One counter to that is there's a fine line between aggressiveness and also this guy's got an obligation to compete year in and year out, right? Who's to say they weren't in on Jermaine Johnson? They weren't in on Trevor Penning in New Orleans. They weren't in on Bradley Chubb in Miami, right? They got to draw a line at some point. They have an obligation to keep a level of consistency, which they've done successfully. Certainly hasn't boded well since the Super Bowl in terms of where their ultimate aspirations are.
A lot of years.
But you got to keep that in mind, too. They are competitive just about every single year and have been when Lamar's been healthy for the last 8 years.
I'll take on with that. There's someone, I don't know if it's Super Chat or someone said it in one of the videos, the guy that you were playing, these guys coming on, but someone said something about that, that they're just making money off the back of Lamar. And that's what it feels like. I mean, you can't have the best player by far in the NFL definitely the best quarterback. I mean, he is Mahomes level, except that he doesn't have the talent around him that Mahomes has. He hasn't had the offensive line Mahomes. I mean, the fact that you're right. There has to be some level of control that they have with, not going stupid. But the problem is that we've made too many stupid decisions. We've drafted too much garbage. Look at all the failures in the second round. So what I'm saying is that we have the wrong fucking GM. The guy is making bad fucking decisions. We could throw fucking darts at a dartboard and just say the best available and just throw darts at best available and have done better than what ADC has done.
Thanks for the call, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Later, David. Look, sometimes over-aggressiveness leads to volatility, and then you're all of a sudden in a situation in a world of hurt like the New York Jets, like the Tennessee Titans. You don't want to make rash decisions, but you also obviously want to capitalize on what is a temporary window of Lamar Jackson, one of the all-time greats, being in his prime. Okay, there's a delicate balance between the two, and I think we all can do a better job of at least staying mindful of that, remaining mindful. We can be frustrated. We can be pissed off. We can take aim at the general manager, the head coach, the scouting departments, so on and so forth. But ultimately, you got to appreciate what you have. And what do you have? This year has been very inconsistent. And I understand why you probably are not appreciating very much with what's gone wrong this year. But for the better half of 8 years since Lamar was brought in and they built around him and they took a chance on him, the Ravens have been perennial favorites to not only contend, but win Super Bowls. And they've fallen short year after year after year. That's the reality of it. But there hasn't been that much volatility. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of their consistency. Be mindful of their steadfast approach to team building, which, yes, today has reared its ugly head in the form of underwhelming nature or inactivity. I'm not saying you're spoiled. I'm not saying that at all. I know that's an illegal word to use, is it not, around these parts? This episode is brought to you by my friends at Preston Automotive Group. And guys, at Preston, Bobby Baltimoreans and subscribers of mine get access to 2 exclusive offers. $500 towards a newer pre-owned vehicle, or when you buy 4 tires, you'll get 50% off your alignment. With over 2,000 vehicles to choose from, plus home delivery being available, you can find your next ride, and it's never been easier. PrestonMotor.com. The direct link is in the show notes below. It'll take you to the site that you're seeing up on my screen right now, where you can be reminded on this landing page of those 2 exclusive offers. You can reach out to Monica, the site operator, if you'd like to DM back and forth. You can also contact them easily by filling out this form right here, and pop on down to the available inventory section, where right now you can choose from 3,663 vehicles that are available to you. Break it all down category by category: price, vehicle condition, year, make, location, dealership, you name it. Cars cost less with Preston. You can get started today by visiting PrestonMotor.com. Scan the QR code that you see in the upper right-hand corner as of right now. I appreciate them. Well over 3,600 vehicles and counting to choose from. When you shop with Preston, you're joining a trusted team serving Baltimore and beyond. And I've been rolling around in the Bobby Baltimore Bronco now for 2+ years running. I appreciate their continued support of the program. And thank you guys for being with me tonight.